we're going to have timed rounds, 30 seconds. We'll take a 10-second break. We'll jump back in and either do the opposite side or do the same movement just once again. So the first segment, the first exercise of 6 is going to be our feet are together. We're going to step out and then step the other one, squat down and jump back together. And we're going to try to stick with the same leg that we start with for the first 30. So if I start with my left, then I do my right, then we'll take our break, and then we'll try to step with the other side. So it's a bit of a mental exercise as well. Knowing that, hey, that second time, whatever leg you start with, trying to maintain that. From there, we're going to do lateral steps. And as we get to the side, we're going to do a kick. Now, this kick doesn't have to be really high. It doesn't have to be violent. We're not trying to like kick really hard. What we're trying to do is step, go onto one foot, and just get that leg extended, right? I'm not trying to get my leg extended up really high. I'm just keeping it down, staying comfortable, because there's nowhere we're getting that stretch. There's dynamic movement. You're going to get your heart rate up. From there, we're going to move to the floor for a couple. So this is where you might want to have a little mat. We've talked about utilizing a little pad that you might use for gardening or rolling up towels. You can even roll up your yoga mat to create extra padding. But what we're going to do is we're going to do a 4-point stance, and then we're going to do thumb to the ceiling, arm out to the side. We're doing our shoulder flexion. We're trying to hold this for the full 30, then we'll switch and do the other side. As you hold this position, you're trying to keep your chest and shoulder down as the arm goes up, and you might feel kind of a stretch through this lateral part. From there, we're going to do a 3-part plank hold, where we're going to be on your forearms and thighs, or forearms and toes, and we're going to rotate. We're going to go sideline, back to middle, back to the other side. So we're doing a 3-position rotational plank. From there, we move to lying on your back. So here we're going to bring your elbows up. We want to keep your elbows 90. We're going to bring your legs up, and then we're trying to crunch up into a ball where we're pulling your legs up and we're pushing your hands and arms down to allow your abs to create a strong contraction. We are going to attempt to hold that for 30 seconds. It does put a big stretch onto this back side of your neck. So if you're new to it, don't feel like you need to hold it for the full 30. You can ease out of it and jump back in. You can do intermittent holds. But we'll take a break and then do the same thing for the second half. And then from there, we move back to a standing position where we're going to do elbows wide, trying to keep the hands away from the head versus if the hands are on the head. So it's just that little extra amount of shoulder abduction and scapular retraction of trying to keep those hands away from the back of the head. And while doing that, we're going to high knee. And so we can high knee with knees in front. You have the option of even doing knees across. You can do knees out wide. You get to choose which path your thighs lift during that high knee march. All right. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. Grab some water if you'd like. I will get my timer set up. All right. This is also an excellent time to set an intention. You know, what are you wanting to get out of today's workout? Are you wanting to build strength, build endurance? How do you want it to show up in your life? You know, with weight loss, muscle gain, just knowing that you accomplished an exercise workout, you know, really setting that intention for yourself before you start working out. Also, taking inventory of how does your body feel? You know, we just talked about, you know, maybe the knee's a little bit achy. So where do you have to modify, or how does the hip feel? You know, I was feeling it more into my neck, right? So as we move through these exercises and these 3 rounds, if you have an area that's more sensitive, or as while doing an exercise, you become aware of an area that's more sensitive, feel free to make modifications and make changes, and, you know, not push through it unless you've been experienced with the exercise previously. So with that, we'll go ahead and get started. So we're going to do our step out squats. And so again, whatever leg that we start off with for this first 30 is what we're going to try to stay with. So I'm going to do my right first, and then we're hopping back. If the hop is too much, then you can just walk it back. But take your time on the step outs, squatting down, jumping back. And again, you're trying to maintain stepping, leading with that first leg all the way through this 30 seconds. There you go. Time for one more. And our break. So that time I started with this leg all the way through. This time I'm going to attempt to maintain using this leg to start the movement. Step, step, squat, bring it back. Step, step, squat, bring it back. There you go. And so you're going to feel this into your low back. You're going to feel it into your quads and knees. We're helping the body get used to having a little bit more impact, helping those joints and muscles get used to a higher level of force. And relax. All right, so we're taking a little bit of a break, 15 seconds in between each round. This we're going to start at one edge of our yoga mat or towel. We will walk across. We're going to lateral step, 1, 2. We're going to bring the leg up and kick. And so here, make sure that you're trying to move your arms opposite of the leg. There you go. And so as you're kicking, the arm that is the same side as the kick should be behind the body. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more. And relax. Nice. We'll take a little 10-second break. Again, paying attention to how does that feel throughout your body. Does one leg feel tighter? Here we go. Second half, really over-exaggerate those arms. Using the arm of the same side of the leg, pushing back as you kick it forward. And again, it doesn't have to be violent or hard. We're just trying to work on balance, trying to help your body get used to going leg extended. Also that little bit of a crossover, keeping your shoulders square. One more. All right, so from there we'll move to the floor. We're going to move to a 4-point stance. Hands and shoulders, so this is where you might put a pad underneath your knees. Here we're going to lift the arm and hand, thumb to the sky, out to the side. Lift that hand up as high as you can. How's it feel through the hand that you're stabilizing on, your posting arm and wrist and hand? How's it feel through the knees? Do you feel stretches going on? I'm more aware of the stretching than the muscles contracting. And relax. We're going to switch to the other side. We're trying to keep that chin tucked. We're trying not to let that head extend. We're also trying to let that head drop. Here we go. Thumb up. Again, even though you're holding the position steady, you think about trying to take your chest and shoulder towards the floor and hand up higher. So there's like an internal tug of war. 12 seconds, taking breaks if you need it. Is your wrist and shoulder okay? The one that you're posting on? How about your knees? And relax. All right, so now we're going to do our plank hold. And again, you can do modified. We have our 3-position plank hold. So you can do modified where you're on your thighs. And we're going to rotate. We want to maintain this position. We're going to go back to the middle. Roll onto the other side. Hold here. Back to the middle. Roll to the other side. And so as I roll, my forearm rotates. As I go back to the middle, my hands and elbows rotate forward. And as I go to my side, I let that hand and elbow rotate across the body. We're going to take a rest. And so what I'm talking about there is when I'm planking, I've got my hands, a normal plank, I'm here. When I go to the side, I let that arm rotate. So hopefully you can see that from here, where we're going up, my hand rotates, my elbow back to neutral, the regular plank, rotate to the side. Taking your time in between the transitions, holding each one. This is a big shoulder mobility and relax. So we're really working your shoulder strength and shoulder function to allow your core to move around your arm. And so that's a lot like moving your arm. So here we're going to bring your legs up, elbows are bent at 90. We're going to do an atomic crunch. We're going to come up and hold. Everything is squeezing towards the center, allowing your abs to create a strong contraction. Again, if you need to take a break, certainly do. Just join back in. If you feel comfortable or you want a bigger challenge, try to hold it for the entire 30. Embrace shaking. You're squeezing everything to the middle, letting these forearms and thighs fight with each other a little bit. Sometimes just maintaining the position is already a fight enough, and relax. Trying to push any harder is futile a little bit. All right, we're going to go right back into the same thing. Legs are up, thighs, elbows, forearms into your thighs, tops of the toes up. It's easy to drop those toes. Activate those front part of the shins. Trying to create a nice small ball, rolling up, stretching out your back of your neck. Again, taking breaks if you need it. Squeeze through your abs. And relax. All right, we're going to move back to a standing position. And so here, this is where you want to get into this nice kneeling position. Attempt to use your hands as a support and brace and get yourself lifted. All right, we're going to do our standing elbows behind or hands behind the head, elbows wide, high knee march. Here we go. And you get to choose which path you take your legs, your knees, all right? And trying to keep those hands back away from the head. It's easy to let them rest against the back, which is okay. But the more we start to activate and get those posterior parts of the shoulder away from the head, we're activating the rhomboids, your deltoids, some of your mid and lower trap. So a lot of the big shoulder muscles. And relax, shake it out. All right, here we go. We're jumping right back into it. I'm going to put a little bit more emphasis on my lower body, seeing if I can go a little bit higher with my knees. That's it. Nice job. How does it feel through your hands and elbows? Do they feel okay? You starting to get any tingling into the shoulders? I notice as I start to feel my shoulders more, it gets harder to pay attention to what my lower body is doing. So I have to be very intentional and relax. And take a break, grab some water. Take about a 60-second break. So what I was talking about is I have to be very intentional with what I'm thinking about, even while doing the exercise, because it's really easy to get mindless. All right. About 30 seconds and we'll jump into our second round. All right, so obviously we're doing a lot in this workout to target your heart rate by staying moving. We're doing a lot to target your hips and legs by doing squats and high knee walks, and then the lateral steps with the kicks. And then we're doing a lot for your shoulders and upper back as well. So, and a little bit for your core. So be aware of how these areas feel as we jump into the second round. Again, we're going to start with our step out squat. And again, whatever leg we start with for the first 30, we want to try to maintain that. Here we go. So I'm going to start with my left. And if the jumping is difficult, you can just step back the same way that you went down. All right, so you have options. You don't have to do the jump. But this is helping your muscles create a stronger contraction as you're having to create more force to be able to get your legs back under a sudden movement. Whatever position your toes face and relax, we want to try to have your knees go that same direction. So now I'm going to start each rep with the other leg this time. Step, step, squat, Bring it back to the middle. Step, step, squat. Nice job. Again, showing your body appreciation for allowing you to do these movements, whether it's your knees, your back, your hips, that you've typically or sometimes have issues with. Right now, the fact that your body's allowing you to do that, having great appreciation for it, is very important. Final one, and relax. Nice job. All right, so we have our lateral steps, 1, 2, with a gentle, call it a gentle kick. All right, again, the big thing here is keep moving. We already got your heart rate up. We're letting it recover a little bit. Here we go. And then we're going to keep it up by keep moving. So 1, 2, step and kick. And again, making sure that the arm at the same side that kicks, that arm is going back. Using some of the body's natural dynamic propulsion that we get. So elastic energy is one way of looking at it. All right, if we don't use that arm swing into the back, we put a lot more stress into our legs. So helping your body learn to interact together. Here we go. So what I'm talking about is if I do this arm swing, it makes it easier to counterbalance and get that leg going. That's it. Nice job. The other great thing is it ensures that we're using the arms as you move across. It's easy to start leaning back. Try to lean into it a little bit. Final one. Nice. All right, we'll move to the floor for our 4-point stance, hands and knees. And again, you might roll the mat up to create cushion for your knees. So you could do something like this. You might even need cushion for the hands. We're going to do one arm at a time. Stretching it out. Reach the fingertips away, the hands out to the side a little bit. It's not directly aligned with your shoulder near your ear. More of a V or a Y, one-sided, halfway. Taking breaks if you need it. A nice active stretch. We have the local muscles controlling this. Searching for what is your maximum range. Relax. We'll switch to the other arm in 8 seconds. How do your wrists feel when you're in this position? All right, here we go. Think about shoulder down because that arm lifts. It's easy to start rotating your torso. But think about keep that arm up, hand up, shoulder and chest down. So they're working against each other. A lot of work for the arm that you're standing and bracing on, helping build bone density for your wrist, your elbow, forearm and upper arm, your shoulder, and relax. All right. Okay, we're going to move into our plank hold, so taking a little bit of a break. So one of the benefits of posting and putting extra weight on, one side versus having both hands is all of a sudden that area is taking on a lot more force and it's helping build better bone density. All right, so we're moving into our plank hold. We move to the side, we hold, back to the middle, opposite side, again paying attention to that forearm rotation. Getting a good pause in each position, not rushing through it. Is your body okay with each of these positions? We'll do one more, and then we're going to take a break. Okay, take a break. Nice job so far. How do your elbows and shoulders feel? All right, here we go. Same thing. Up and hold. Nice job. Taking your time during the transitions. Getting a good pause in the position. Last time, last movement, and relax. All right, move into lying on your back. Enjoying the 10 seconds now that you have remaining of the break before we jump into the atomic crunch. We're bringing your legs up, elbows up, and forearms. Here we go. Think about tops of the toes towards your knees. It's easy to let them drop. Thinking about taking your forehead between the legs if you can, more visually. It's actually not going to get there. Think about pulling your pelvis and hips closer to your head. Everything is squeezing to the middle. We're stretching your back out, stretching the back of your neck out. Taking breaks if you need it. Everyone take a break. All right, here we go. Back into position, up and hold. Really get those tops of the toes, working the front of the shins by pulling the tops of your shoelaces, tops of your toes and shoes towards your knees. Breathe, hold the position, but not your breath. And relax. All right. We're going to move back into this split lunge position. Use your hands on the front thigh and lunge up, or you can use a piece of furniture to assist yourself. And we're going to move into our elbows behind or wide with hands behind our head, trying to keep those hands away from the back of the head, doing our high knee march. Here we go. So here I'm going to take my knees out a little bit wider and thighs out to the side. So they're going out less in front of me and more out to the side. Still trying to keep those hands and elbows wide. Or I guess elbows wide, hands behind the head, but away from the head. And taking the thighs and knees wide. You choose what path you want your hips to go in and your knees and thighs to follow. And relax, shake out those arms. Roll the shoulders a little bit. All right, here we go. Final 30 seconds of our second round. You're doing great. Here we go. This time I'm going to take my knees a little bit more up in front. You do again what you feel you want to do. You have the option of crossing over a little bit. Excellent job. 8 seconds. What position is your foot going into as you lift that knee? Is the foot kind of rotating in? Can you keep that foot below the knee? And relax. This is where sometimes having a mirror, or if you can see your own picture in the screen, nice getting that visual feedback is really helpful from time to time. So we'll grab some water. H2O, you might have seen, I posted a video today about how weight loss is influenced by how the chemistry and what's actually happening with weight loss. And so weight loss is a big part of water and how we breathe. So the more water and the more times that we can increase our breath within reason, will promote greater weight loss, preferably fat loss, because that's how we get rid of stored muscle fat. So if you don't have the Facebook Awesome Beyond 60 and you want that video, please let me know and I'll make sure you get the link. So we'll jump into our third and final round, of 6 exercises. Again, scanning your body. How do you feel right now? Where are you feeling tension or tingling at compared to where you were before? All right, so we're going to do our step out, squat, and jump back to the middle. Step, step, down, move back. Down, and there I did a little brain where all of a sudden I started alternating, trying to lead with the same side. More of a brain challenge. And relax. Nice job. All right. We're going to do another 30 seconds, final 30 seconds of these for today, but stepping out with the other side. All right, here we go. Step, step, down, back to the middle. Good job. So a lot of times we'll jump out into this position, but doing the step, there's a little bit more of a brain coordination and a little bit more gentle on the legs as you go out. And then we have more of the intensity when we jump back to the middle. Final one, excellent. All right, we're going to do our little lateral steps with our kick. Starting at one end of the mat. And again, you don't have to go fast. Just staying moving is going to keep your heart rate up. We're going to go here, making sure that we're not kicking into any furniture or animals. There we go. As we do these exercises at home, we have to kind of modify and work around our furniture and what space we have. So it's okay to make modifications. 1, 2 step across. Again, the same side arm of the leg that kicks is going behind the body. Take a rest. All right, we're going to start over here. 1, 2 step. Good. You want an additional challenge? Try to breathe through your nostrils only, keeping your mouth slightly closed, not necessarily clenching your teeth. Final seconds, excellent job. All right, move down to the floor for our 4-point stance. Hands and knees, and again, you can roll up the mat, you can put down a pad for the knees. If your wrists get tired, you can do more of a fist with your thumb. We're taking this arm, thumb to the sky, up, out to the side. Same side shoulder goes down, because it wants to start lifting up a little bit. Think about reaching the fingertips away from the lower body and up towards the ceiling. So we're trying to get a nice stretch, final seconds. And relax. Okay, we're switching to the other side. Excellent job so far. Taking this hand up and out. Holding, bracing up over the hand. A lot more challenging for me to hold on my left side, but a couple months ago I had that left elbow injury. And right now it's a lot shakier just to hold and brace on my left arm, which then makes it harder to lift my right hand and arm. And relax. All right, we're gonna move to lying on your back, which when it's two sides are feeling sensations, it's little in that motion and movement, it's a little too integrated to tell where it's really coming from. So that's where I would do some of the awesome stuff to find out. Here we go, atomic crunch, pulling the tops of the toes up, forearms and hands push down. Everything is squeezing together to try to get more contraction and control through your abdominal area. And relax. Really let the floor support you, seeing if that neck and everything that was contracted and stretching, see if it can relax. Here we go, we're going back into it. Hold the position, but try to allow your breath to move. Over exaggerate your breath, forcing the inhale and exhale. In the moment, it might make you not be able to push and squeeze as hard, but long term, that's going to get you to a point where when you can push and squeeze, you'll still be able to breathe. And relax. So definitely put a lot of focus in on your breath right now. Okay, we move to this lunge split stance. You put your hands on your thighs. You can also use furniture and counters. What you want to do is keep your back upright versus really lifting. You want to try to stay as upright as possible when standing up. All right, we're on our final exercise today of round 3. So final exercise of today's workout. Elbows wide, hands behind the head, high knees. Here we go. 60 seconds, 30 seconds before we take a break. Excellent job today. Congratulate yourself. Thank your body for allowing you to get through all of the exercises. Even if you had to make modifications or take breaks, that's okay. We're one workout closer and one workout done and complete, helping you get stronger. More than anything, the short-term benefits of improving circulation and relax, improving your body's awareness, helping systems communicate, are all happening immediately. All right, hands behind the head, elbows wide. So you're still getting that benefit where strength, calorie, weight loss, all those are longer term outcomes of continuous sustained exercise. Weeks and weeks. Six seconds, nice job. And relax, shake it out, roll the shoulders. Nice job. Awesome, grab some water.